Boys, the Caleb Williams videos are back on the fucking menu. Can you believe it? You all knew. Everyone who clicked on and voluntarily watched this video, you all knew this was coming as soon as the game officially concluded. How about Caleb Williams in this game? Listen, the first drive, he was great. He looked like a guy who was playing within the tempo and the rhythm of the offense that Ben Johnson has designed for this Bears team. He looked great, and then the rest of the game, by God, did he fucking suck. Was he horrific or what? All he can do is throw to his first read. He takes forever to get off his first read. He had all day to throw on at least half of his dropbacks. Whenever he was pressured, he could not throw an accurate pass. He missed multiple wide open players for a touchdown. He took two. One of the sacks was kind of not his fault, but the other one, he was just running around. That's what he does. He runs around when he starts to see a semblance of pressure. And since he can't read a coverage, he can't really get it to his guys in time. He had so many players wide open in this game. He just simply did not see. And that should be concerning for the first week of the season. This is the second year of this guy being your starting quarterback. And in this game, you didn't see any progression. The first drive, it was great. But that's all you really can take away from this game, that he looked like a good quarterback in the first drive, but the rest of the game looked like a fucking glorified high school sandlot quarterback. He looked absolutely atrocious in this game. And I said that for a lot of games last year, but when you compare this game to some of the games last year, it's eerily similar. The same sort of completion percent, the same dink and dunk. He was doing this last year. He was doing this same shit last year where he would dink and dunk over and over because he was scared to throw down the field because he has absolutely wretched down the field ball placement and down the field accuracy. The times he was throwing the ball over 30 yards down the field, it was erratic, it was high, it was incomplete. There was a time on one of their last drives of the game where, I think it was DJ Moore was wide open for a touchdown and he missed him by like 5 feet. I was like, oh my God, this guy cannot get any worse if he tried. I don't know what it's going to take for people to admit that this guy is bad. He's not a good quarterback. He may have a high ceiling, but that doesn't mean that he's going to reach that potential. That doesn't mean he's going to reach that ceiling that's been set for him as a quarterback prospect. And everyone who's compared him to Mahomes, called him generational before the draft, are looking at themselves like, what did I miss with this guy? Why in the world did I call this guy generational or the next Patrick Mahomes in my evaluation? That's what people ought to be questioning themselves. And if you compared him to Mahomes, if you call him a generational quarterback talent coming out of the draft, then you have to do some sort of self-thinking, and that's that, man. You know, I've had my fair share of misses, but at least I didn't call a player generational that, was fucking a one-read, can't read a coverage quarterback out of USC. At least I didn't do that. And the scary thing with Caleb is he is still holding onto the ball for an elongated amount of time. Now, the problem is no longer the line, but the problem was never the line. Now the problem is he has too much time to make a decision, and I think that's making him antsy, that's making him jumpy, that's making him miss guys that are wide open. I don't know how to explain why he's not reading the coverages correctly. Why he just sucks. That's the problem. Is he's fucking bad. He's garbage. He sucks. It's that simple. He's a horrific quarterback in the NFL. And I don't know. Ben Johnson is Ben Johnson. What are you doing on that last drive? A trick play, a high school trick play that wouldn't even work, and it wouldn't even work in high school. We're talking about a Pop Warner fucking trick play out of nowhere. What are you thinking? And quite frankly, what are you doing? Just throw the fucking ball up, man. God damn. Inept. And that's how Caleb played in this game. For 3 quarters, he played inept. Well, a half. For the second half, he played inept. For the second quarter, he was mid. The first quarter, he was good. The second quarter, he was mid. And then the rest of the game, he was absolute fucking dumpster juice. And he sucked really fucking badly in that half. He was absolutely atrocious. And there's nothing worse than seeing this guy touted as a generational prospect. He can't string together 4 quarters of competent football at the NFL level. That's what makes me angry. That's what makes me irritated. That's what makes me sick to my stomach. Because a guy who was touted as highly as Caleb was coming out of the draft literally cannot play a full, complete game of football that can be considered good at the NFL level. It ticks me off to no end. And when will the Caleb Williams defense force and fanboys alike and Bears fans alike give up on this guy. I say after this year, they're going to run this fucking guy out of town. They're going to start to figure out by about week 9, 10 that, oh, this kid can't fucking play. And we've got to get a quarterback. Bagent isn't the answer either. I don't want to hear anybody talk about Tyson Bagent. He may be better. He may be an upgrade. He probably will read a defense better, but he has no arm strength. And he really doesn't have the mobility of an NFL quarterback. So Bagent, you have a limited ceiling with him, but you have an even lower, you have a better ceiling with a scrub backup who has no chance of ever being a good starter than the guy you picked number 1 in the draft. What does that tell you? That tells you that you did a scouting failure, and it's obvious that he doesn't have a work ethic either. Because how are you not working these things incrementally out of your game? He still holds on to the ball. He still can't read a coverage. He still runs around. He still takes stupid sacks. He still is just running for his life. He still has a horrific mental side of his game. His processing was actually worse in this game than most of the games I saw of him playing as a rookie. So that tells you that he has not grasped this Ben Johnson scheme fully. I know he's only had 6 months to sort of learn the playbook, and only 3-4 months to get on the field and learn the plays, but it's not encouraging it's accuracy. Look at his accuracy and his ball placement and sometimes his decision making. That's stuff you saw in his rookie year. At least one of those things should have been phased out of his game a little bit, but guess what? Here we are in this video about Caleb Williams, talking about Caleb Williams and how he's a scrub. I can't believe I have to keep, I say this for every player I have to keep making videos on, but this guy is so historically ass as a first overall pick. It blows my mind, and I can tell the Bears fans are going to start fucking turning on this guy. And will he deserve it? Probably, because he's not very good. But let's be honest, Ben Johnson, we're going to set a 70% completion percentage for Caleb. He had a 50-something in this game, a 50-something. He was erratic. His accuracy and decision-making was poor. His ball placement was pathetic. He was throwing hospital passes the entire fucking game. Almost got Rome Odunze killed 3 different times. Almost got Cole Kmet killed 3 different times. Got DJ Moore killed. Got him injured over the middle of the field. Just fucking plastered over the middle by a goddamn defensive back, man. Coming in 100 miles an hour, throwing it into that fucking window, knowing that the guy's gonna get fucking destroyed. And he was taking fucking hits, and he was running around, and he looked clueless. He looked like a fucking headless chicken once again. Somebody I know said this to me: you can lead Caleb to water. That doesn't mean that Caleb is going to drink it. That is the perfect phrase and I mean this perfect sentiment for Caleb Williams. You can lead the guy to water. You can give the guy all the line help in the world, all the protection, all the weapons, the best running game, the best coaches, the best everything, the best defense. You can give him everything in the world he desires in the NFL, and he still won't get the job done on Sundays. He still won't get the job done on Monday. He still won't get the job done on any day, point blank, period. And once again, that is something scary. I know they scored 24 points, but if you take away the fucking pick 6 thrown by J.J. McCarthy, who actually played good in the fourth quarter of this game and actually helped this team win this game, but if you take the pick 6 away, then they didn't score many points. They scored 10 points in the second half. Once again, you're not going to beat an NFL team with 17 points. It's just not going to happen. Well, maybe the worst teams in the league, you'll be able to beat them. You probably can beat the Panthers, with 17 points, but you'll barely beat the Panthers. And God forbid you play the Packers or, any other good team, the Chiefs, any team that is any good with a good defense, you're going to get mollywopped by that team. You will have no chance of winning that game. Caleb Williams does not give your team a good enough chance to win this game. He's a good runner. He's a good athlete. He's crafty. He's a good improviser. And he plays better when there's chaos, when he's out of structure, but you can't win with a quarterback like that in the NFL. Yeah, you have to be able to set the tone for the offense, to read a coverage, to throw on time and on target, and with anticipation and timing. He has no anticipation ability. He has no timing ability. He's not accurate. He can't read a coverage, and he panics, and he holds on to the ball, and he runs for his fucking life. So that's not a quarterback that will ever make any sort of indelible impact on the game, and will never make any sort of big impact for your team, and will never really lead your team to the promised land of the Super Bowl, which is the end goal of the NFL, is to win the Super Bowl. Can you win the Super Bowl with a quarterback like Caleb Williams? No, you can't. And can you win games with Caleb Williams? I don't even know. That's yet to be determined. But Ben Johnson did not call a good game. Looked shit. Challenged an obvious catch, and blew. I mean, his coaching debut couldn't have gone worse. He had an 11-point lead and he blew it. And That's that, but Caleb Williams is bad. He's just not good. When will people realize this? When will people finally wake up and say, okay, I've had enough of glazing the scrub. He is who he is. He's not a good quarterback. I'm done with this video, man. Caleb Williams, for debut game of the year, he throws it away, because of course he does. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.